Hey everyone, and welcome back to Love Hackers. You know, we're your daily dose of dating advice.
That's right.
I'm Alex Carter,
And I'm Sophie Tanaka.
and we're your resident dating experts here to help you navigate the, sometimes exciting, sometimes just totally confusing world of romance.
Yeah, it can be a roller coaster.
Definitely a roller coaster. So today we're diving deep into something that can be, a real bummer, especially
Yeah.
when you're putting yourself out there,
Well, yeah.
getting flaked on.
Oh, yeah. It's the worst.
It is the worst. It's that feeling when you're like, yes, I'm going on a date. I'm excited for this. And then all of a sudden, poof, nothing.
Silence. Radio silence.
Crickets. A last minute cancellation. Maybe they just ghost you completely.
It can be a real blow to the ego.
Oh, it can make you question everything.
Right.
Like, am I doing something wrong?
What's going on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But before you totally spiral,
Yeah.
we're here to tell you it happens to almost everyone.
Seriously, almost everyone has been there.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And more often than not, it's not personal.
Yeah.
There are actual reasons why people flake. And get this understanding. Those reasons is the first step to avoiding them altogether.
That's right.
So let's break down the top 4 reasons someone might flake on you, and we're going to start with the most common culprit.
Okay, hit me with it.
Sometimes life just gets in the way.
Okay, that's fair.
Things happen.
Yep.
Flat tire, sudden illness, family emergency pops up.
It's true, life is unpredictable.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget that everyone has this whole life going on outside of, our dating plans.
Yeah, they have a whole world outside of us.
Exactly. So as frustrating as it can be to have your evening derailed,
For sure.
it's important to remember that these situations are usually out of their control.
Absolutely.
It's not about you.
Yeah,
It's about those curveballs life throws at all of us.
Exactly.
Not necessarily a sign of disinterest.
Nope, not at all.
Good to know. Okay, so what's the next reason on our flake list?
So the next reason is sometimes it's a case of just waning enthusiasm.
Oh,
You plan a date a week or two in advance.
yeah.
And as the day gets closer, maybe that initial spark kind of fizzles out a little.
I can see that happening.
Especially, with dating these days.
Right.
There's so much choice and constant stimulation.
Like that saying out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly.
If that connection isn't, nurtured, it could just fizzle, especially with all the distractions from, apps and social media.
It's true. It's like shiny object syndrome.
Totally.
There's always something new and exciting popping up.
Always the next best thing.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily that they're not interested anymore. It's more like the excitement has just dimmed a bit and they might not even be fully aware of it themselves.
So how do we keep that spark alive, especially in those early stages? We'll definitely have to dig into that later.
Absolutely, we'll get to that.
But for now, let's move on to the next reason.
Okay.
And this one's a little more strategic.
Ooh. Tell me more.
Sometimes flaking can be a way of playing hard to get.
Ah.
The games, it's a tactic, some might call it a game, used to gauge your level of interest.
Yeah, they want to see, are you really into me?
So how do you decipher if it's genuine disinterest or just a test?
That's the tricky part. It's more about observing your reaction than them actually expressing disinterest.
Oh, so they're watching to see how we respond.
Exactly. They want to see if you'll pursue them.
Okay.
It's about testing the waters, seeing how much effort you're willing to put in.
A little power play dynamic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that always a red flag, or can it be harmless flirting?
It really depends on the context and the individual. We'll go deeper into that whole psychology later on.
Okay.
But for now, let's move on to our final flake factor.
Okay.
And this one can be a bit of a heartbreaker.
Oh, no.
The dreaded friend zone fears.
Oh, that one stings. So it's not that they dislike you, but more that they're just hesitant to risk the friendship by taking things further.
Exactly. They might be risk averse.
Right.
And while it might feel like rejection, it often stems from a genuine care for the friendship that's already there.
Okay.
They might enjoy your company, but aren't ready to navigate, all the potential complications of a romantic relationship.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
It's like they're weighing the potential loss of the friendship against the potential gain of a relationship.
Exactly. And sometimes that fear of loss just wins out.
And leads to a flake.
And leads to a flake.
Okay, so to recap, we've got life's unexpected twists and turns, that fading initial excitement,
Yes.
the strategic play of hard to get,
The games.
and the good old friend zone anxieties.
All the things.
All the things, for very different reasons, each with its own set of nuances.
Definitely.
But now the big question, how do we handle these situations gracefully?
Right.
And even better, how do we prevent them from happening in the first place?
Such a good question.
Right.
And that's exactly what we'll be diving into next. So stay tuned because we've got some valuable insights and actual strategies coming your way. Okay, so let's talk about what to do when you actually get flaked on.
Damage control.
Yes, damage control. What's the most crucial first step?
I think not taking it personally, as
Yeah.
hard as that can be.
I know, it's so tough.
You're disappointed. You're bummed.
Especially when you're looking forward to it.
Right.
But
Exactly.
it's so important because reacting with anger or getting really hurt,
Yeah.
it just kind of validates any doubts that they might have had.
Right. Like, oh, maybe they were right to flake on me.
Exactly. And plus, it just doesn't make you look good.
No,
You-
it's not a cute look.
Not at all.
It comes across as insecure and needy.
Totally.
So what's a better way to handle it?
You gotta give them a graceful out
Yeah.
when you follow up. And you should follow up.
Okay.
Frame your text in a way that assumes there was a legitimate reason for canceling.
Okay.
Takes the pressure off and keeps those lines of communication open.
So something like, hey, no worries if something came up. Hope everything is okay.
Exactly. See how that doesn't sound like you're accusing them
Right.
or demanding anything? It just expresses understanding
Yeah.
and leaves the door open for potentially rescheduling.
It's light casual, keeps it positive.
Exactly.
Like it. What should you absolutely avoid doing?
Avoid demanding an explanation
Oh,
at
yeah.
all costs.
Okay.
Nothing screams insecurity like grilling someone about why they canceled.
why weren't you here?
Exactly.
Not a good look.
It's not a good look. It puts them on the defensive, and it just makes it so much less likely that they'll
Yeah.
want to reschedule.
Right. It's like, I don't trust you. Justify yourself.
Exactly.
No demanding explanations.
No demanding explanations. And while we're on the topic of what not to do,
Okay.
let's talk about mind games.
Oh.
Resist the urge to play it cool
Okay.
by ignoring them or acting aloof.
Right.
That just comes across as immature and petty.
Right. It's like two wrongs don't make a right.
Exactly.
Just makes you look bad.
You want to be the bigger person.
Okay. Maturity, composure,
Mm-hmm.
those are always more attractive.
Always.
Okay, so let's say they are open to rescheduling. What's the best way to go about that?
Don't push for an immediate reschedule.
Yeah.
Give them some space. Wait for a relaxed conversation about it.
Yeah.
Maybe a few days later.
So no need to jump right back into planning the next date.
Exactly. This shows that you respect their time
Okay.
and that you're genuinely interested in connecting with them, not just filling a spot on your calendar.
Right, it shows you're not desperate
Exactly.
or clingy.
You're cool.
Yeah, I got that. I'm busy. I have other things going on.
Exactly.
Okay, so we talked about what to do after a flake. Now let's shift to prevention.
Yes.
How can we minimize the chances of this happening in the first place?
That's where the proactive strategizing comes in.
I like that.
It's all about setting the right tone from the beginning.
Okay.
So let's talk about those first few dates.
Yes, those initial encounters are crucial.
Oh, so crucial.
So how do we set ourselves up for success?
Keep it simple.
Okay.
Early on, you want to avoid those elaborate high-pressure activities.
Right, like don't go all out for a first date.
Yeah.
Hey, keep it simple.
Things like movies,
Yeah.
grabbing a coffee or ice cream,
Cute Loki.
checking out a local market.
I like that.
These are all great starting points.
Yeah.
You want something low-key enjoyable,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're still getting to know each other.
Takes the pressure off, allows for natural conversation.
Exactly.
So no skydiving on the first date noted.
Probably for the best.
Okay, what else?
Another great tip is to offer options and show flexibility when you're making plans.
Okay.
So instead of saying, let's meet Friday at 8,
Right.
try something like, does Thursday or Friday work better for you and what time works best?
Okay, so give them a couple of choices.
Yeah, you're giving them some agency,
Right.
making them feel like they're part of the decision-making process.
It's collaborative, not demanding.
Exactly.
You know that gentle reminder text we talked about before?
Yes.
Sending one a couple of hours before the date can work wonders in preventing last-minute flakes.
It really can.
All right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you later text.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning that earlier.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on why that's so effective?
So it's a subtle way to just reaffirm the plan
Okay.
without coming across as insecure or needy.
Right.
And it also gives them a chance to gracefully bow out if something has come up
Okay.
rather than just not showing up.
Right.
So it kind of opens the door for that communication.
It's like a little nudge.
It is a little nudge.
Hey, we still on for tonight?
Exactly.
Without putting them on the spot.
Exactly. And it helps avoid those awkward no-shows.
Okay, so a few simple strategies can really make a difference
They really can.
in turning those flakes into firm plans.
Yes.
This has been super helpful. I'm feeling much more confident about navigating the dating scene now.
good.
It's all about staying cool, being respectful, and, creating the right conditions for a successful date.
Exactly. And remember, sometimes even the best laid plans fall apart.
Right.
Life happens.
That's true.
But by understanding the psychology behind flaking and implementing these strategies, you'll be so much more well-equipped to handle whatever comes your way.
It's all about learning, growing, and most importantly, having fun along the way.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on something we mentioned earlier. We talked about all the different reasons why people might flake on us. But what about taking a look in the mirror?
Ooh.
Have we ever been the flaker?
I think that's a really great question to ask ourselves because, sometimes understanding our own dating behavior can help us see things from the other person's perspective a little bit better.
Totally. And maybe we haven't always been, perfect dating angels ourselves.
Oh, for sure.
I know there have been times when I've had to reschedule or, maybe even cancel on someone.
It happens.
It does.
Life throws curveballs.
It really does.
Priorities shift sometimes. We just realize we're not really feeling it anymore.
And that's okay.
It is.
It's better to be honest with yourself and the other person
Absolutely.
than to force something that's just not there.
Yeah, you're not doing anyone any favors
Right.
by dragging it out.
Exactly.
The key is to communicate clearly and respectfully, whether you're rescheduling, canceling, or just realizing, you know what, we're not really a good match. Ghosting is never the answer.
Never the answer. It's all about being upfront and considerate of the other person's feelings.
Exactly.
So now we want to hear from you, our amazing listeners.
Yes.
Have you ever been the flaker? What were your reasons?
Spill the tea.
Head over to our social media and share your experiences.
We love hearing from you guys.
We do.
It helps us all learn and grow together.
On this crazy journey called dating.
That's right.
That's all for today's deep dive into the world of flakes and how to avoid them.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm Alex Carter.
And I'm Sophie Tanaka.
And you've been listening to Love Hackers.
Your daily dose of dating advice.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this episode with all your single friends.
Yes, spread the love.
And remember, dating should be fun.
It should be.
So get out there, be your amazing selves, and keep those hearts open.
Until next time.
Happy dating.